Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at the 1987 release by Dapol from their Doctor Who series of action figures and playsets. And this particular year, 1987, was the 25th, or coming up for the 25th anniversary year, which appeared in 1988. And Dapol was commissioned by BBC Enterprises to produce a run of action figures, which were the first action figures that had been released or commissioned to be released since the 1970s Dennis Fisher figures. Okay, so and they released this three series, I think they were. This particular series was a 1987 or 1988 release. They then did another one in 1989, but then the factory suffered some a fire, I think, and they didn't produce the third set until 1998. And then finally produced the final figures in 2003 before their license expired, and that was just before the new Doctor Who series emerged and the license went over to Character Options. Okay, so this particular figure we're looking at today is of the 7th Doctor, as portrayed by Sylvester McCoy, who was the current Doctor for the 25th anniversary. And this is the card it comes on. And at the very top it says Doctor Who, and you've got the TARDIS logo, as it appeared in the opening sequences from the 80s. And you've got an image of Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor. It says the Doctor, a Time Lord from Gallifrey. And you've got the Dapol logo at the bottom, and you can see the action figure behind the bubble together with his umbrella. And this particular version is of him in his white or grey jacket. Okay, so that's the front of the card. Now, before we look at the figure itself, I just want to turn the card round and see what is printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around, and this is what we got on the back. So it says Doctor Who from Dapol. And again, you've got the image of the TARDIS in the bubble from the opening title sequences. There is a sticker on the back of the card there that says not recommended for children under 5. And it says the Doctor, a Time Lord from Gallifrey, with an image of Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor. Mel, the last companion of the 6th Doctor and the first companion of the 7th. And there's an image of Melanie Bush there, as portrayed by Bonnie Langford. And then you've got the Tetrap, which was the first monster to encounter the 7th Doctor, which was in the episode Time and the Rani. The TARDIS, Time and Relative Dimensions in Space, the Doctor's time machine. K9, the Doctor's personal robot dog computer. And then you've got the TARDIS control console, which you've got an image of the 7th Doctor standing in front of the console. And at the very bottom it says BBC 1987, licensed by BBC Enterprises Limited. And the Tetrap is BBC Pip and Jane Baker, Dapol, Winsfield, Cheshire. Okay, so that is the back of the card. Now I'm just going to turn the card back round and let's have a good look at the figure itself. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on the figure itself just so we can have a good look at the likeness of the facial features, the sculpting of the face actually, and it's not bad for 1987. You know, bear in mind that we're going back. What are we going back? We're going back 40 or 38 years, something like that, 37 years since these were produced. So obviously technology has moved on tremendously since then, and sculpting is all digital now, and is a much closer resemblance of the characters. But these were hand sculpted, and the resemblance is not great, I suppose. You can tell it's the 7th Doctor, and that's mainly because of his outfit, I think, rather than the face. But there you can see the sculpting compared to what Sylvester McCoy actually looked like when he played the 7th Doctor. Okay, so this is the figure, and you can see he's dressed in his hat. He's wearing his light grey shirt, I think that is, and his burgundy tie. He's also got his burgundy scarf around his shoulders, and he's wearing his question mark jumper. His grey or white grey jacket. There's a green trousers and white socks and black shoes. And he's got his black umbrella with the red question mark handle just behind him. So size wise, let's just come out a little bit and I shall get my measuring stick and we'll have a measure. So we are looking at 10, maybe just over 10 centimeters, because he's got his hat on. So I think we're about 10.5 centimeters tall, from his foot to the top of his hat. Width wise across is going to be his hand, which is about 4 centimeters, and depth wise we are looking at probably just about 2 centimeters deep. Articulation wise, now unfortunately I can't take this figure out of the packet because it's still sealed, even though there's a slight crease at the top there on the bubble, but it's all still attached to the card and I can't take it off to look at the articulation. But however, I do have from my collection one of my Doctors. This one's obviously the 4th Doctor and it's Tom Baker, and it does have the same articulation as the 7th Doctor. So we've got the head which turns slightly, you've got the elbow, the shoulders and the elbows on both arms. There's no twisting of the waist, but you do have the legs that move up and down and the knee joints that move up and down. So you're looking at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 9 points of articulation on the figure, which is not bad, not great, but not bad. And the downside to me with this particular figure is that he can't hold his umbrella, so the hands didn't actually function. You couldn't actually get him to hold anything. All you could do was put his arm up and hook the umbrella over his arm. That's the only place you could actually hold it. So, which was a shame really, because it was otherwise it would have been great if they molded the hands to be able to hold them. Okay, so that is about all I can tell you on this figure. So how well did they do back in 1987? Well, bear in mind that these were the first figures produced since the 1970s, which were the Dennis Fisher ones. And it was of course the 25th anniversary of Doctor Who, which was a big thing. So yeah, I mean they were very popular. They did fly off the shelves. Well, I say fly off the shelves. They were promoted at a lot of the events, a lot of the celebrations for the 25th anniversary. A lot of the specialist shops and the exhibitions had these figures, but they wasn't readily available in mainstream shops. So if they had been, I think they would have just, completely sold out very quickly. But unfortunately, Dapol was originally a model train manufacturer, and they had specialist shops to sell their products anyway, and it just carried on with the Doctor Who line. Unfortunately, they weren't in mainstream shops, and back in 1987 there was no internet or online purchasing that you have these days, so it wasn't easy to get the products without going to somewhere like a convention or an exhibition or a specialist shops like your Forbidden Planets and things like that. You would not have been able to find these figures. I do believe though you could write away to Dapol and you could get a list of mail items that you could order on mail order. So you'd fill in your order form, post it off with a check to Dapol, and then you would, once the check had been cashed and cleared, you would get your figures returned to you in the post. Somebody told me about that. I mean, I don't recall it myself, but somebody did tell me that they did do that. But like I say, it was quite difficult in finding these figures back in the day, and even more so now. Now we're talking, these 37 years on. I mean, finding them now in this mint unopened condition is an achievement and a half. Don't get me wrong, because you can still pick these figures up on some of the platforms, but most of them are individual, or they're out of the packets. They've been used or played with or displayed, or the ones that are, some of them are still in the cards, and the cards are quite poor from damage over the years. But finding them in this practically mint condition There is a few marks on this particular card, and there's a slight crease at the top of the bubble, but other than that, it is mint. So finding them like this is very difficult, but as usual, you know it, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below, which will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. And believe me when I say we have got some amazing items coming up soon. Very old, very rare, very vintage items. So stay tuned, keep watching, because they could be of interest to you. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.